Hello, this is the Company Man, and this is the first of two videos showing you a under 2 hour run of the game for the Rush Job trophy, completing the game in under 2 hours. There are 3 timed trophies in the game, one for completing it under 2 hours, one for completing it in under 4 hours, half day, and one for completing it in under 7 hours, office hours. The speedrun trophies, as well as every other trophy and everything else in this game, are they all follow a very, very obvious theme, and that is corporate business kind of mindset. You know, thinking outside the box, thinking whatever kind of buzzwords you want to use. This game has every single office meme you could think of. It's in here. The characters are really nicely drawn and really well thought out. Some of them in the later part of the game don't make as much sense. When you get to the sales, there's wolves, like Wolves of Wall Street. There's vampires. There's a legal department with someone banging a gavel that creates file cabinets. All sorts of different kinds of twists on the corporate world. Right now we're in customer service. This is the first level, and we're playing on normal for this first run here. This is the first run of the game on this account, so you're going to see me getting every trophy. You're going to see me getting 30 of 37 trophies during this run. I should point that out. What we're not going to get is any of the coin trophies. Actually, no, I'm mistaken there. This is Jarrett. He's the first sub boss. Some of these games, some of these levels have 2 bosses, and some of them only have 1 at the very end. And this first level here has a kind of annoying kind of first sub boss that kind of follows you around for the first half of the game. If you're familiar with the North American version of The Office, Jarrett is meant to resemble Dwight Schrute, who is kind of the lackey of Michael Scott, who runs the Dunder Mifflin branch in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Looks just like him, and I thought they did real well mimicking that character. But Jarrett's he's gonna follow you around. He's gonna show up 3 or 4 times. He's got a whip, and he kind of jumps down from the sky sometimes right on top of you. So you just have to know where he's gonna be. Some of these these falling interns are kind of annoying, because you have to time it out so that they don't fall on you. But as I was saying, this is on normal difficulty. When you play the game for the first time, you have the ability to play it on normal or hard. I have never played it on hard because there's no reason to play it on hard. Once you complete the game the first time, see, here's Jarrett again. Once you complete the game the first time, you will unlock Impossible Mode. I will put out a second video, I should say. I already have a video of all of the bosses from Impossible Mode, but I'm going to put out a video of the first 2 levels on Impossible Mode, just to show these very slight difference. The only thing that's different about Impossible Mode from normal is you only get 1 hit point on Impossible Mode to start out with. So this first level and the second level, all depending on how much money you earn, how many times you die and get to kill the same employees over again. The first 1 or 2 levels, you're only going to have 1 hit point. And so that gets a little dangerous, a little hard to get through the entire level without getting hit once. But if you get familiar enough with the game, you shouldn't have any problems with it. And there's plenty of checkpoints. Here's our final fight with Jarrett. He shows up and somehow he has a clone, or he has a twin, or I don't know, they never really explain it, but here he is, and he's going to drop down. And the basic idea with all of these Jarrett fights is just make sure you're behind him. He's going to move forward with the whip, and then he will stop and kind of put his hands behind his back, and I don't know if he gets tired from running or what the animation really means, but basically just keep jumping around. Make sure you don't stay in one spot too long, because he can drop directly on top of you, and you want to kind of get a feel of how to get through these boss fights without getting any hits, because the first level or two, you definitely want to kind of get an idea of how to get through it without getting too many hits, giving too many hits away, you know. So once you defeat Jarrett, that room's going to open up, and you just have to whack that little machine there a couple times, and then you'll move on to the second half of the level. These little coffee spots are your checkpoints. I have made that clear already. So here in the second half of the level, you're going to see a couple different enemies. Every single level has completely different enemies. Some of them resemble other ones from previous levels in certain ways, but they all kind of fit the theme of that floor. This is customer service, but some of these people are like pushing papers around. We're gonna see a new enemy soon, who is a woman with some speakers and a microphone. I don't really know what she resembles, but here is Craig, I would think his name is. He's the final boss of the level. You're just gonna get a taste of what he does, and then he's gonna go away, and you're gonna move on. That's a cinematic you can't skip. Yeah, I don't know if he's a mill guy or if he's just trash guy. I don't know what he does. So this is, I just don't understand this. This is a woman with a PA system, I guess. Maybe she's the AV tech. Here is a kind of slightly hidden coin, and that gives you $10 or 10 coins, however you want to say it. Yeah, each of these enemies have a different kind of way of taking them out. They have, some of them have, 3 or 4 hit points. Some of them can be taken care of with one hit. These interns here, they fall from the sky in different patterns. There are 3 trophies. I'm sure we already got the first one for killing 10, or for firing 10 colleagues. Sorry, I should definitely make that distinction. This game does not call it killing, they call it firing colleagues. So while we were probably some of those secretaries that were answering phones and breathing fire, after you kill about 10 of them, you'll get the first trophy for firing 10 colleagues. I'm stalling here as I look for it. A grumpy colleague, okay? And then you'll see aggressively ambitious, fire 100 colleagues, I think, towards the end of the second level. I think is when we get that one. Here's the Craig fight. So what Craig does is he charges forward towards you with his arm out, and then he also kicks an intern, which creates kind of a circular long-range attack that will go the length of the room. So you're going to want to definitely jump and dash over that. And then once you get enough hit points on him, he's going to stop. He's going to do a small AoE attack, drop some interns from the ceiling, and There's another attack that I didn't allow him to live long enough to show. Just another small AoE attack that he does later. Here is the shadowy chairman of the board, and he gives you the ability to shoot emails. It's the email blaster. It uses 1 energy for every shot, and it's 1 damage. Again, some of these enemies require 3, 4, 5 hits, and so usually it's better just to whack them with your sword a couple times. It'll go a lot faster. But the email blaster is a nice long range attack. It's a lot more useful in impossible mode, where you get unlimited energy to use your blaster. But after at the end of every level here, you're going to get a different kind of long range attack. Some of them are quite useful, and some of them they're not much. Here is the only miscellaneous trophy you can really get in this game. Overtime for trying to leave the building. You go through the revolving doors and you find out you can never leave, just like Hotel California. And we're going to head off to the second level here. So human resources is where we're going next. And this is, I found this level to be the best one to replay for extra cash, for extra kills. It just ended up being my go-to when I was grinding out some of the trophies that weren't working very well, and I think now's a good time to touch on that. So this game came out in August, and the trophies weren't live on PlayStation Network until the very end of September. It took a whole month for the trophies to even show up on the network, and then when they did, 6 of the trophies didn't work very well. Coffee Addict, which is the trophy you get for buying all of the power-ups from the coffee shop store in the lobby that we kind of briefly looked at before we got on the elevator. Full Stack Employee for getting all of the kind of long range, the firing upgrades, the shooting upgrades. There was Salaryman. Salaryman actually worked and was awarded earlier than it was supposed to be originally. And here's Not Safe for Work. This is for pushing someone into the paper shredder. There are 4 different kill trophies, or firing trophies, I guess, for various hazards that are built into some of the levels. There's a turret, there is a crusher, there's some falling ice blocks, and the paper shredder here in Human Resources. And we will take a look at those as we get to them in the various levels. But a little bit more, one more thing to talk about before we talk about the trophies that didn't work properly when this game came out. This is the first gauntlet room that you're going to come to. There's about, I think, 4 or 5 of them throughout the game. These rooms, they lock you in with about 5 or 6 enemies. I think this one only had 4 enemies. And once you eliminate all of the enemies, you can get to the coin, which is always a $10 coin that you'll be awarded. There are 2 gauntlets in this room, in this level, and most of the other levels only have 1. I think. Let's see. I'm going to look at the list here to make sure I'm not speaking out of. There's 2 in human resources, 1 in accounting, 1 in research and development, and 1 in sales and legal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 4 levels. So there's definitely at least 2 levels that don't have any gauntlets. Anyway, so yeah, so that every time you get to one of those gauntlets and you clear it out for the first time, you will get a trophy. But anytime where there's like a little coin hidden off to the side, even if you have to open a door in order to get to it, if the coin's all by itself in a room, it's not a gauntlet room, and you won't get a trophy for it. I always fall into that shredder there. I'm really surprised I didn't. But yeah, let's go back and talk about the other trophies that didn't work, because this is a good point to look at them here. If you see these guys holding the paper, they spawn continuously. They'll just always keep coming out of that hole. So this is a good place, and the game has a lot of them. In customer service, a lot of those interns fall from the sky, and they fall at kind of a good rhythm where you could pretty much stand and just swipe your sword. And I think they're one-hit kills, the interns in customer service in the first level. These paper pushing guys, I think they take 2 or 3 hits, and they're not as consistently, they don't follow like the same consistent rhythm. So you can use this level and you can kill the infinite spawns in this level, or you can go back to customer service and kill the interns that drop from the sky for infinite spawns. And the reason I point that out is because there is a trophy for firing 1,000 colleagues. It's called drastic downsizing, and up until the last patch, the only way you could get that trophy is if you played a level and never completed the level. You had to get 1,000 kills in one level, in one sitting. Otherwise, the game wouldn't count it, wouldn't realize you did it. So what I did was I came to this level and I basically planted myself in one of these 2 spots. There's one after this carousel here, and the one that we had just looked at previously, where there is an infinite spawn of these paper holding guys. Here's your second gauntlet, by the way, in human resources. But I just stood in one spot and I just let the spawns keep coming towards me, and I just fired one after another until I got to 1,000 kills and finally got the drastic downsizing on my European account. It was the only way it worked previously. The game has been patched since, and it should work without having to get all 1,000 kills in the same level. But there you go, finished all the paperwork. That's for the second gauntlet. But that's one of the 4 kind of problematic trophies that I am still going to call a little temperamental, if not glitchy, because all 3 of the coin trophies, none of them worked for me on this account, on this run through, as consistently as I'd like them to. When the patch first came out on my European account, I had put all the work in. I had collected well more than 1,200 coins and killed well more than 1,000 colleagues. And once the patch came through and I reloaded the game, I got all those trophies instantly. But unfortunately, it did not work as well on this playthrough as I thought it would. The 250 coin trophy, though aggressively ambitious, that's for killing 100 colleagues. It is at the very end of the second level, as I thought. The 250 coin trophy, I didn't get that until the second to last level in this playthrough, after I had killed probably at least 500 employees. This is, I don't remember this guy's name, but his attack pattern is so predictable. He has 3 kinds of attacks. Evan is his name. 3 kinds of attacks, and that one he just did there where he spirals down on the bottom platform. That's the one you want. You want to kind of hug the corner of the middle platform there, let him zoom past you twice, and then jump on top of that platform. So he's going to barrel into one of those corners, and then you can whack him. His other attacks are kind of burrowing into the ground, coming up underneath you. And then this attack, oh no, that's still the burrowing. But that kind of wheel attack, that's the one that you want to look for, because that's going to be your chance to really kind of hit him. And then he's going to, hopefully he does it here. He does a, nope. here's the primary attack. But the other attack he does is he's gonna be up above you, and then he's gonna rain big, here we go, big droplets of paper coming down on you. Just stay under that moving platform. Sometimes it'll be on the right side, sometimes it'll be on the left side. The patterns in which it comes down are a little varied. There's probably 3 or 4 different formations they can come down at on top of you. But just stay under the platform. It's pretty easy to keep up with it. But once you whack him enough times on one of those little corners on the inside there, you will defeat Evan, and you will be done with the second level. And then you're going to get a kind of a shotgun kind of blast here. It's one of the most damaging blasts. It damages 5. It costs 2. 2 energy things here. Some of these blast attacks cost 3. Some of them cost 2. And then the original one you got only cost 1. So there's Stress Manager for defeating Evan. Damage Control was the one we got for defeating Craig earlier. So yeah, so the only trophies that are really a concern are the coin trophies and the 1,000 colleagues fired trophy. So again, I'm going to be labeling them as kind of temperamental, if not problematic, you know. And hopefully they work better for you than they did for me here, because I've played this game so many times on 3 different accounts. I'm really not looking forward to grinding out the last few coin trophies or kills. So here we are in accounting, and I guess the whole joke with this one is they turned the AC on a little too much, and now they've frozen all the assets and the entire floor. There is a sub boss in here who is really easy once you understand what you need to do. The main new gimmick in this one is the dropping ice blocks, and there's a couple really good places to get the ice block kill trophy. I will be showing you one of those coming up here. There's also another character, an NPC that you can meet here and have a conversation with, but I think I actually skip it in this run. It's unnecessary. It doesn't do anything. It's not necessary to have the conversation. It doesn't affect anything. And then silhouetted there is the final boss and the boss of this level having a conversation there. So I say final boss, but that's not actually accurate. There is pretty much 3 boss fights in a row at the end of this here, at the end of this game. As I said before, a lot of these enemies have kind of unique attacks. That woman conjures up a block of ice and sends it towards you. So all you have to do is get behind her. So here is a giant. His attack slams down, pulls up ice, and it takes him a while to dislodge his file folder. I don't know what that thing is. I forget what the comment is that he makes about him. So they do a lot of kind of weighted scales, little puzzles involving these weighted scales. And you also have to make sure you avoid getting hit by some of these falling ice blocks. When you break an ice block, that means eventually the ice block will fall to replace it. So you don't want to get hit by a falling ice block. And again, this is an under 2-hour run, but I definitely do not play it as cleanly as I could. I make a lot of mistakes here. This was my first time playing it in a while, but I have played through this game about 30 times. This one's a little chaotic here with these two enemies that you have to try to avoid their various attacks. In the second half of this level, there's a tiny little accounting enemy that shoots pie charts at you. I don't know why, but it's really difficult to avoid. So you see this ice block falling here. So we're gonna lure this giant under the ice block, and he's gonna get hit by that, and he's gonna give us workplace hazard, firing a colleague with an ice block. Some of these are a little annoying if you don't get them perfect. You have to become pretty familiar with the dash, because some of the platforming really can't be done without kind of jumping and dashing at the right time. Oh, we do talk to him. Okay. Head over here to the left to talk to, what's his name, Dave? He probably just said it, but I missed it. You'll see him a couple more times. So the running gag here is, I guess the business that you work for is a water bottle business. I guess they distribute bottled water. And you'll learn a couple things about the business that you work for as you play through the game. And so here we are going to head into the sub-boss. What is his name? Let me see. Yeah, I think he's one of the weird ones. Gobi. G-O-B-Y. Gobi? I don't know. But his attack is, he only has like 2 attacks. He has a jump and kind of flail around with his ice hook here. And so I take that opportunity to shoot as many emails as I can at him. He's going to do that a couple times. Then he's going to go to one of the ends of the room and fire fish. Because I guess he's an ice fisher. So that's an opportunity to get next to him and kind of whack him as much as possible. That long jump means he's going to go into his second attack here. And it only takes about 2 heavy spams of slashing there to get Gobi taken care of. He was one of the more difficult ones I found at the beginning to kind of figure out how to deal with, because I didn't really kind of understand you were supposed to just whack at him. But once you kind of understand how to get these bosses taken care of, the game's pretty simple. This is the little piece of crap I was telling you about. I just can't. They just jump around, and sometimes there's 2 or 3 of them. They're like little monkeys, little scamps, you know. They're all over the place, and it seemed like every single time I tried to avoid them, their little flying pie charts would always hit me, no matter where I went. So you definitely want to watch out for the falling ice blocks. Feel free to knock as many of these enemies into these little icy spikes as you can. Usually, consistently, I would hit those 2 ladies into the little spiky ice. But for some reason, for this run, it just didn't happen. There's, I think 1 or 2 more new enemies you're going to see soon. But everything else is pretty much... See, that was a bad move on my part. Pretty much the same... See, these little guys. Pretty much the same group of enemies. To wait for that ice block to fall again, and then get rid of that one, and then jump on this one, which is going to be raised to the point you can finally, and of course I messed that up. You gotta start all over again. Again, as usual, not the most consistent and efficient run. I was a little rusty. I hadn't played this in a couple weeks. I was very tentative about playing it on this account because I wanted to get everything perfect. Like, I wanted to make sure the game was going to give you the most consistent experience before I played it on my main account and made this trophy guide, and I was led to believe that it was going to work for me, but at least on PS5, and I'm kind of disappointed that I had the problems I had with it. But I think this is as good as you're going to get, and I did notice that this game was on sale this week, and I mean, it's a very enjoyable game. It's a fun game. It's not too difficult to get the platinum, other than the trophies that don't work very well. Here's the other new enemy. But I just, I noticed there's only like 30 people who've played this game on any of the 6 versions of the game: PS4, PS5, North America, European. I guess there's only four versions, yeah. And this must be a small development team. I think they're out of Singapore. Here's the gauntlet of the accounting level that you can get a trophy for. Got 2 of these ice pushers, this little pie chart guy, and 2 of the new enemies that kind of grapple on the library books. They fall down, they spin towards you with their ice picks. I guess they're using a book as a helmet, I don't know. Calculated profit for finishing that gauntlet. 10 more coins. So we're already 170. I'm sure I spent money at the coffee shop. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 hit points. Maybe not. Maybe I haven't bought anything yet. I think I was trying to get all the way to 250 coins before I spent any money. And then I just kind of trusted that it was going to work and ended up regretting it. So I'm going to hang for the rest of this level, and then I think once we get to research and development, I'm going to chime in where I feel it's necessary. And then this video is going to end before the boss fight of research and development, just because I need to keep this under 60 minutes so I can get this onto YouTube from Share Factory. We're pretty lo-fi here at Penny Sticks. We're pretty lo-fi, but we get the videos out there to you. I was trying to get both of these guys with one ice block. Almost got it. Almost got them both, but oh well. So yeah, I'm gonna show you research and development, and we're gonna stop before the boss fight. I think the last thing that happens is the gauntlet room and research and development in this video, and then we'll start the second video with the boss fight. And I'm not sure if I mentioned or not, I definitely am going to cut out a few of the boss fight attempts. The boss in research and development, as many times as I fought him, I really struggled, because it's very kind of shmuppy boss fight. There's things coming at you from all different places, and it's just one I can't wrap my head around, timing and avoiding getting hit too many times. But meanwhile, here we are with Nadia, and her attack is pretty much just, it cycles through this. She'll spit out an ice block, then she will pick 2 positions and fire ice at you, so stay under the scale. Then you want to jump on the scale, because she's going to come down 2 or 3 times and make that very long tidal wave of ice that's going to hit you. Even if you're standing on the platform to the right there where you first came in, you're going to get hit by that wave. You see how it splashes up there? So 2 or 3 times she's going to do that. And really the only option you have is to run at her and whack her. You can also fire your email blaster, but it's probably going to take longer, because you have the shotgun, which requires 2 energy each time, and so you're only going to get 2 hits of that, even though it's 5 hits per, it's 5 hit points per. So I mean, you can try to shotgun her as much as possible, but you're not going to get more than 2 hits off, because you're just not going to have the energy, the amount of energy, unless you bought energy. Oop, I actually died here. I forgot I died here. Oh wow. I guess I could have cut this one out, but that's fine. Again, I want to keep this as consistent as possible. I want you to see as much of my gameplay as possible, so that you know how much time I really put into it. But also the fact that if it takes me, if I'm cutting out some of the playtime just because I'm dying, that should also point out the fact that it's totally doable. For you, even if it is your first time, you might be able to do that. But this is the whole cycle here with Nadia. You just basically you get under the scale, she fires twice, you get on the scale, she'll drop down 2 or 3 times, You run at her, and you whack her, or you blast her. She's going to jump back up, ice block, stay under the scale, over and over and over again. When you're worried about your speed run, and you're not even halfway through the game yet. Well, I guess you are about halfway. This boss fight feels like it takes forever. It really does, because you can't tell that you're doing that much work on her, and you're not. You're just chipping away at her. Literally, she's a block of ice, and you're chipping away at her. But yeah, it's pretty uneventful, this boss fight. It's pretty boring, and it's just kind of routine. And if you kind of lose your focus and lose the timing, you're going to end up getting hit. But this is all you have to do. And then once it's over, you get your next email blaster. I think this is carbon copy that you get from this one, which is a pretty good one. Has a nice long range to it, and I think it's 2 energy cost and 2 hit points. Is what it takes away from your enemies. Finally, we've defeated Nadia. Yes! And we're going to go through the door and talk to the chairman. Oh, not the door. Go down. Yep. Okay, so this is carbon copy, which I like to use. Especially like to use it in the marketing level against the final boss in marketing there. It's just something you can fire kind of quickly. It uses 2 energy, so you might only be able to get 2 or 3 blasts out. There's balancing the books, and then this is kind of a annoying, unavoidable kind of playable cutscene. You have to run to the right, and there's 2 scenes that there's going to be some dialogue that you'll just have to X through, and then a second scene, and then you're gonna come upon a kind of a bully who I guess ends up being your stepbrother in this storyline, and he's gonna kick you until you have 1 hit point left. So if you go into this scene with only 1 hit point, then it's gonna be very quick. If you don't, then you're gonna have to wait for him to kick you. So I sped this up because I had to get this video under 60 minutes, and this part is just, it makes no sense to me to have the whole situation here. You see, every time he kicks you, he takes half a hit point, so every 2 kicks take 1 hit point away, and then when you're down to 1 hit point, then the scene is over, and you're down here with your 2 friends. Your only 2 friends in the whole place. Now the tables will turn. How the turns will table. Here's the coffee shop. So again, 70 coins for a hit point, 70 coins for an email. This one recovers 1 health, and that is honestly probably the best power up you can buy. And then that is the 5 seconds of invulnerability. 5 seconds of iframes, really, really nice to have on your final hit point there. But I definitely like the recovery, because every time someone gets a hit point off of you, if you can hit them back, then it's like they never hit you in the first place. So I'm gonna let this this level start playing through, and I may come back on if I feel the need to talk about any of the things. But again, the good thing about research and development, there is no midway boss. There are a couple of really annoying enemies. There's one that we're going to see pretty early on that kind of teleports in, throws 2 water jugs at you, or maybe they're milk jugs, and then kind of disappears. This one right here, I can't stand it. Or them, who knows? Shouldn't assume anything. But like half the enemies in research and development are super easy, and the other half are kind of difficult. And the boss is really no joke, as far as I'm concerned. Watch out for these saw blades. No special reward for having someone fall into that, but okay. So enjoy the scene, and I will be back to talk you through the gauntlet room towards the end, and maybe something else along the way, but I don't really see a point to keep gabbing your ear off while we go through research and development. just wanted to briefly say that that's the turret. It's the first time we see the turret. Here's the second time we see the turret. Unfortunately, during this playthrough, I was not able to get a turret kill. There's a trophy for getting, for having someone under one of the turrets and getting hit by it. Even though you will see me attempt it a couple times, I came back and replayed the level, I think after I'd beaten the game. And I might even have video for it. Maybe I'll find it and put it in here. But yeah, it's pretty simple. There's definitely a couple times in this level where there's a turret that's above you when you have to fight some of these enemies. The best ones are the whoopee cushion guys, the guys that kind of fart green clouds of smoke. These guys right here, they're one-hit kills, and they there's like 4 of them later on in this level that are right next to a turret. So that's the best opportunity you have to get that trophy. Again, remember, a lot of these hazards, they're only in one level. It's very specific, so it's not like you're gonna get them in a different level. But you can always replay the levels, of course. So let's keep that in mind.
So here we're coming to the final area of research and development here. I just dropped down that hole. There's actually nothing in that little alcove to the right above us. I thought there was for a second. I was like, oh man, did I just miss a coin? Checkpoint's on the left, but the gauntlet here is on the right, so I suggest you hit the checkpoint first. We got two of the juggy ladies, one of the water blasters, one of the crazy mad scientist on the fan broom, and then one of these kind of spiky aerial attack guys. I think we're still waiting for the second water jug, yeah, and the mad scientist on a red circular fan. Yeah, I really don't like that enemy, because they fire. I don't know. My reaction time is just not fast enough. But stay tuned for part 2.